Absolutely. Hey, and I appreciate y'all coming to the Capitol show. But that means a lot to us comics, when the non-comics comics come out and support. And bottom of all of our hearts, I speak for every comic in town. I don't give a fuck. We do appreciate that shit.
I'm
Anytime
a goddamn comic. But I've already, I'm a stand-up comedian.
Shit, man, I feel bad now, dude. I feel real bad. Lucas is such a workhorse when it comes to comedy, and I always tell people, like, even if you go to the dirtiest, dingiest open mic 70 miles outside of town, inside a broom closet, nobody's there, it's a piece of shit dive bar, you're going to run into Lucas. Because that guy hits every single open mic. He is a hustler. I wish I had his work ethic when I was his age. Vacations are different now. You go on vacation, hit up an open mic. Because you're gonna do your best shit, and you practice. They don't know who you are. They've never heard your shit. You're gonna destroy, and you're probably gonna make a whole new group of friends. Lucas has opened my eyes up to that.
Everyone is like a tether out to how many thousands of people.
Yeah, I know a few people in New York. I know a few people in Chicago. Like if I go there, I could probably reach out to them and be like, "Hey, what the fuck's up?" Oh, I love Japan.
To have a tether out in Japan, like that is.
I know people in Japan. I could go to Japan right now and sleep on probably a few couches.
Like that's a crazy thing to be able to say.
Yeah, when I first started comedy in Portland in 2011, man, there was like a clique of established comics that were just like mean and they excluded like they would just shun new comics. It was weird, but it's great that it's not like that now. Everybody's open and inviting and like willing to discuss things and talk about stuff, and it doesn't feel like a competition. It feels like we're all trying to help each other. It feels more like a community than like a battle royal.
I was able to communicate and like talk with them, and they'll all be chatty and cool, and even get like tips from like Imani and like her boyfriend,
Brett Lowry.
Brett is super funny too.
Those two, holy
I need
shit!
to start getting his name down.
I fucking love Brett Lowry. He inspired me so much. Because I think last year, in 2022, he wrote the smartest joke of that year, in my opinion.
Damn.
In my actual opinion, because god damn it, it's so hard to do comedy in this city, but it makes you better as a comedian, so I'm okay with it. These are the toughest comedy dojos in the country, and let's fucking bring it. I want to be a better comic, so let's go. And he wrote a joke that was bulletproof, I thought. Fucking bulletproof. And I'm going to plagiarize it a tiny bit, but what he basically said in the joke was, one of my friends told me that 90s catchphrases are coming back, but they get mad at me when I go, that's gay.
I heard this one.
That's such a smart joke. You can tell that at any fucking venue downtown. Yeah.
But if you're able to kind of shift the blame, like, oh, remember the time when it was like, you all remember?
I know
we were all doing it.
He put you there. He put you there in the least. It was so few steps. Like Brett is a master at trimming the fat
and shit like that.
Exactly.
He hits you.
He's good, and Imani Dente is amazing. Also, like,
is that how you say her last name?
Is it Dente? Am I saying that right?
I have no clue. I don't know. I thought it was like Danae or something.
Danae, possibly. Yeah, and that's the thing with me, dude. I say shit wrong all the time. It's Danae.
Yeah,
Imani Danae. Yeah, Imani's hilarious.
Dende is from Dragon Ball Z.
Dang it. It's like everything's clashing. So many wires are getting crossed. But that's
an awoken Namekian.
That's me though, man.
Dende's really cool though. So hello guys, welcome back to the Flybuck Podcast. Today we got Brandon Wayne Little, 5 years in the Navy, stand-up comic, and a wrestling superfan. He hit stages from here to Japan, and now he's here with us. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Sincere. I appreciate you having me. Thank you both. Appreciate you.
Live studio audience. The first thing I wanted to actually dive into was the Navy thing. 2 pictures. One of you like in a dungeon, it looks like, with a red jacket on.
That's a magazine. It's crazy. Like anything that can contain explosive stuff, like in a gun. Like the clip is not really called a clip; it's called a magazine.
Yeah, I heard someone else.
They get mad at you for calling it a clip, and like, who gives a fuck? But anything that contains explosive stuff that's meant to kill people is referred to as a magazine. So, Yeah, and the ones with the bombs and the missiles, they were just giant magazines. So that's what I was in that photo that you saw me.
You're in a magazine?
In a giant ass magazine containing bombs.
I thought you meant like the picture was from a
like a publication magazine. No, it's
like, gotcha.
That's what's crazy too. English is such a weird language because magazine can mean a containment unit for explosive devices or a print publication that releases monthly. But I know it's fucking crazy.
What were you talking about?
We're talking about magazines and the English language and all. And Navy. Navy stuff.
5 years in the Navy.
I was in the Navy from 2002 to 2007. I joined almost right after 9/11. I wanted to join immediately after 9/11, but I was like too much of a fat kid at the time. And they were like, dude, you got to lose weight to get in the military.
Oh, they didn't let you?
They didn't let me right away.
Oh, okay,
so
got you.
This was back in 2001. So I got on ephedrine back in the day before it was illegal and lost like a shit ton of weight. And then
is that like steroids?
No, ephedrine's like it's a crazy drug, man. It increases your energy and decreases your appetite, and you're supposed to use it for exercise, like you're directed. But a bunch of college kids used it for finals and died.
Oh wow.
Well, they didn't. I mean, yeah, rest in peace, and that sucks. But like, fucking, you didn't use it as directed.
Yeah.
It said you gotta exercise and that's what I was doing. I was exercising like fucking crazy. I wanted to get in the military, because at the time, and
I'm assuming. Okay, well, how old were you when 9/11 happened?
That was 2001. I was 20 at the time. And see, that's the thing is I was talking to the military recruiters in August, a month before 9/11 happened. I was talking heavily with them. And
don't laugh.
No, it's okay. This is what happened. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. This is
American tragedy.
I was talking to these dudes about maybe joining one of the potential branches, and then 9/11 happened, and I'm like thinking, well, fuck, I can't not join now. I'd be a coward like a motherfucker if I didn't join after this.
Complete other thought.
No, that would have fucked with me, dude. Yeah. See, that's what's crazy about me, man. Is I love sleep. Yeah. I love sleeping, dude. So I try to be as nice as possible and build my karma up as much as possible. But I'm thinking philosophically, like, is that because I'm a legit nice person, or do I just really love my sleep?
Gotcha. Okay.
And so God damn it, I love sleep.
Old, I'm assuming like that has to be like a lot to be 20 and like
20 years old.
Real emotions. Yeah. What was the atmosphere? I guess when you found out, like, I guess what was that day like for a 20-year-old? Were you in Portland still? Yeah.
Well, not Portland technically. I was in Oregon City. That's where I grew up.
That's pretty. Yeah.
It's a suburb of Portland.
Yeah.
I went to Portland a lot growing up.
I call like Tigard and all that other shit. I consider that all like Portland. I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah. I was going to Portland a lot. I hung out in Portland a lot growing up, and I remember old Portland. It was great. Yeah. But yeah, the environment in the world after 9/11, it was fucking crazy. Like August of 2001, there was like nobody in these recruiting offices. These recruiters were like, fucking begging us to join, like, hey, you get this and this and this and
da da da. They be showing up at the schools and shit.
Dude, right after 9/11, that shit was packed. It was like, a new shoe was releasing, a new phone was releasing, because there was like a line around the shed of people who wanted to get in.
It was like a Black Friday.
I think so. Yeah, people. I don't know about all the 9/11 conspiracies, but like, let's just say,
it was real.
Well, but let's just say hypothetically it was a recruitment tool. It worked.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It totally fucking worked because a lot of people showed up saying, "Hey, I want to be in the military now," and they got to vet. Because like if you got like 5 people who want to join, you got to take all 5 because you need people.
Yeah.
But if some shit happens and then 2,000 people want to join, you can pick the best 5 out of those 2,000.
I see what you mean now. Okay.
So maybe I can't prove nothing. These are just speculations and allegations, and so I don't fucking know.
Bush was president then?
Bush was president. There was footage of him reading a children's book to some kids and then getting told about 9/11 and like, nah, I gotta finish the book. And like, dude, all you gotta say to these fucking kids is, children, it was nice seeing you, but I gotta go take care of some president stuff. I'll be back later. Done. 10 seconds, you're out, go fucking be a president, you piece of shit. Don't finish the book.
Well, mission successful.
I don't know why I'm so angry about shit happening 20 years ago. I don't. It's
I guess
done.
it probably went how he thought it should have went, but
I don't know.
The book reading was interesting.
Why did he have to finish the book?
Did he finish the whole book?
He did,
Oh.
and he might have. I can't remember exactly, but I think the clip showed him. Maybe it was in that Michael Moore movie, Fahrenheit 9/11. I can't remember.
Other people's perception was a little different. They're like, "Oh wow, even though he was so dumb, he stayed so stoic for these children. Like he kept."
That's a good way to look at it too. Okay, I didn't think of that perspective. That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess in the height of terrorism, he didn't let it phase him or something like that. And then I was like, "Oh, okay." But I don't.
Fair enough, but yeah, if I was in that position, I would have just said, "Hey, kids, I got to go take care of some president stuff. I'll be back later."
Yeah. Well, what is George Bush gonna do?
What is George?
What is he gonna go right outside?
Well, he's gonna get to the Oval Office, get on that red phone, and
push some buttons.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck, man.
I don't know what you wanted him to do.
I used to give a shit so much about politics and wanting to vote for the right person, but now I think politics is like pro wrestling. Yeah. It's fucking fixed. Yeah. And they're going to put in whoever they want to put in.
But it's like wrestling in the sense as in.
It's fixed. I think it's fixed. The winners are predetermined. They know who's going to be president. And I don't know what their name is, the Illuminati or whatever. And I'm not trying to stop them either. I can't stop them. And so I'm just going to try to live. And what's crazy is it reminds me of a joke Lucas said, which I hate to quit bringing up. I love that kid. God
Lucas
damn it.
Is a great guy.
He makes so many good points. Yeah. But fucking, he had a joke about saying what would you do if you found out the earth was flat? Or what would you do if you found out this was a simulation? And then he lets the crowd think about it for a second. And then he yells at them saying, you wouldn't do shit. You'd get up the next morning and you'd go to work. Yeah. And I was like, you're right. You're exactly right. If I found out this was a simulation, I'd go to work. Yeah. I've listened to all the flat earth shit, and you know what? It sounds really cool. I wish there was a giant ice wall, but all the scientific evidence doesn't support that.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And so... And also with the young Earth Christians who think the Earth is 6,000 years old and humans walked with dinosaurs. There's young Earth Christians who think the Earth is anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 years old, and they think that humans walked around with dinosaurs. And do you know how badly
Earth is 6,000 years old?
That's what they believe.
That's some wild business.
Some humans in the actually not some, a lot of people in the United States believe this, and. Do you know how badly I'd love for that to be true? I fucking love dinosaurs. That'd be great if humans walked around with them, but it didn't happen.
I don't like dinosaurs.
You don't like dinosaurs? Why not?
Cartoon dinosaurs. Real dinosaurs?
Well,
they're
but you didn't like Jurassic Park?
I'm picturing probably fur a little bit where it's not gonna be pleasant to look at. Feathering probably a little too.
Definitely feathering.
And then the claws and the jaws and the slobber and
You're
scary
right.
time to live.
You're right. With the more recent discoveries we've had with dinosaurs, not those versions of the dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs that I grew up with as a kid, like the T-Rex and the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, the mythical dinosaurs that we've created based on the information that we had back then. But yeah, the more paleontology work that gets done, these motherfuckers probably had feathers, and they probably honked more than they growled.
Honked?
Like a goose, like a bird, because they're more connected to birds, and like how goose, I think
more than a growl.
Yeah, I read part of an article, the T-Rex probably had more of a honk than a growl based on the tracheal bone they found, and pumping air through that shit. I think I read some part of an article, yeah, nobody quote me on this shit because I fucking.
You can say whatever you want on the show.
I don't research hard, but from what I've read, the T-Rex probably realistically couldn't run as fast as the one in Jurassic Park. Fucking probably had feathers and probably honked more than growled.
Terrifying.
I think a scary ass honk would be fucking frightening if you lived in the Jurassic era or the Cretaceous era or whenever the T-Rex lived.
I'm not really scared.
Because I don't know.
I'm A screech, I'm a little like the screeching that they do in like Jurassic Park and shit.
Yeah, the
if it's
fucking
a
sound the
roar, but it's
raptors
like
make.
yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that's gross. And one dude who got ate by the raptors in the car, or it was
Nedry.
like the little things that came up like that.
Yeah, the Dilophosaurus, I believe it's called. They spit that fucking black venom at the dude, and it was the dude who played, or his name is Wayne Knight. The actor who played him is named Wayne Knight. His character was Nedry. He also played Newman on Seinfeld. That was probably his most famous role. And he was in Space Jam.
Seinfeld. Who was that one other guy on Seinfeld?
Which character?
The guy everyone loved, and then now he's not. So.
Oh, Kramer?
Kramer, yeah.
Played by Michael Richards. Holy shit,
I
dude.
I just watched this video like yesterday.
Of what he did at the Laugh Factory?
Again. I just watched it again, and it was crazy again. It was never.
Why would you do that? Like, I've been mad on stage too, but I would never, ever think to go down that route, even to get like a shock laugh.
I had to turn everybody inside out. Like, that was like
I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, as a comedian, and don't get me wrong, I've bombed a lot. Like, I've ate my dick on stage and the audience hates me, and I'm like, how could I get out of this somehow? And I've never like thought, oh, you know what'll get me out of it? Yelling the N-word a lot.
With hard ERs.
That's with hard ER. That is
really
never that's what was he thinking? That's insane. Care if I light this?
Yeah, no, light. Yeah,
Thank you,
super light. I think an eyelash fell in my eye. That's why I'm like, God, I hate when that happens because now my eyes are watering. Now it's just getting harder to fix. All right, hold on.
Your eyes are watering. It's not nothing I said. It's an eyelash. I'm fucking with you.
It's a really emotional podcast.
Yeah, I'm talking about super sensitive shit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm cracking myself up. That's so arrogant.
I don't have a standard for myself.
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. It's like where you know you got laughs, but it wasn't what you wanted when you wanted it. Yeah, and I do feel that, and that's the thing though, is when you start doing comedy, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna bomb. Yeah. It's gonna happen at an open mic, but I try not to let it get me so down at an open mic, because I realize that's just the batting cage. That's just the dojo. That's where you practice. That's all that shit is. And I've done a few showcases, and I haven't bombed at a showcase yet, but I know I will. I know that's coming down the pike. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter
shows?
Of when. Yeah. Showcases are paid shows.
Okay, yeah,
open mic is just
scarier. 'Cause I think people
super
bomb at
scary
paid shows, and I'm just like, I don't know how this goes after this. Like, what happens?
The booker could. I've had comedy friends who've told me about bookers coming up to them and being like, "Yeah, I paid you to do something and you fucking failed. You piece of shit. Like, I'm not going to book you again." And like, damn, that would hurt to hear.
Yeah. But then again, imagine being the booker and then like, hey, I paid you to make these motherfuckers laugh. Man.
I wouldn't say that shit as a booker. I'd be like, look, man, I've seen you funny at open mics and you just weren't tonight, but I'll give you another shot in the future. Fucking impress me at open mic. Like, I'd be encouraging. I wouldn't be discouraging.
I expect it from like the cutthroat business type of person. So I guess if you're booking shows and stuff, I expect you to kind of be like, you better be good.
Well, that's how it is with a lot of these bookers in town. They're also comics. The majority of the bookers in town, I would say, are comics also. Yeah, that's a different perspective. See, that's the thing is like, you don't even know, dude. Like I didn't know you did. I didn't know you'd hit an open mic 3 times.
I did it at Mama Fee's Funhouse Lounge 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mostly just did crowd work and stuff too. And most of the crowd work works. And the reason, like, I kind of consider it bombing for myself personally is because there are parts where I know where I wanted the laughs at and the jokes I wanted to get off.
Yeah.
And most of my crowd work stuff worked. Like, it just, like, I was more in the moment able to get the crowd up. But then when I actually went into material and stuff, it just kind of, like, fizzled out because I realized I don't know how to word this. Like, most of these things I was getting ready to tell, I was like, how the fuck do I tell you now? And
well, that's the thing. I was
trying to figure that out up there, and I was like, oh, no.
That's how you figure that out. And then you go to another mic, and you trim a little bit of fat from your last set, and you get that done, and then you go to another mic, you trim a little more fat until fucking you got a prime cut, a joke, a bit that's ready to go, that's ready for an audience that's paid to be there.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary. Like, what I feel like, I don't know, maybe because like my expectation for myself might be a little too high, especially because where I'm at right now, only being 3 or 4 open mics. Like I don't know. Like I'm trying to kill already. Like
it's the batting cage, though, man. Yeah, do you want to hit? I mean, yeah, you want to hit a home run at the batting cage, but it doesn't fucking mean nothing. It doesn't go on your permanent record. It's open mics are just practice, and like I'm yelling this at myself too because like you don't need to take them bombs at open mics so hard. It's like you're practicing.
All my number one comics have been hard to publicly like, especially in the city I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave Chappelle is hard to publicly be like, it's my favorite comedian.
He's my favorite comedian, and he's one of my favorites.
Because then people are like, then you are agreeing with. I'm like, all right, no.
No, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. No, God damn it, Dave Chappelle is close to my heart because I've been a fan of his since the beginning. When I was 12 years old, I went to the goddamn Lloyd Cinemas to see Robin Hood Men in Tights, a Mel Brooks movie about a Robin Hood parody. That was Dave Chappelle's first feature film. He played a character named Chew, and he was amazing in that movie. And I was like, this guy's fucking funny. I like this guy a lot. And I followed his career from this TV show Buddies on ABC that didn't work out too well. That shit got canceled. And then I remember when Chappelle's Show came out. Like, I don't know. Well, Half Baked came out, and then Chappelle's Show came out. And like, see, and like, I've been a fan of Dave Chappelle ever since he hit the mainstream. And I was a fan of his when he was hot, and everybody loved him. And you know what? I'm still a fan of his, even if he's in a little bit of hot water, because I don't give a fuck. Because like, if you listen to interviews with the guy and you know where he comes from, you know he's not transphobic. You know he's not fucking racist. You know he doesn't believe. You know he's not homophobic. Well, with certain people would accuse him of being racist, which like he's trying to say something.
Asian joke at the Moda Tower or the Moda Center. That one killed me.
I love my wife is Asian. My wife is a Japanese woman.
He also has an Asian wife.
Yeah, she's Filipino. I think he's been married to her for like 20 plus years. Yeah. I've been married to my wife for 17 years.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was 10 plus. Because I saw one that was like a 10-year something. But I didn't know. 17 is even.
It's nuts. But she loved the joke. And I think, I forgot what it was, but he was like, he wanted to make his wife think that he was cheating on her, so he went and got a fish from a fish market and rubbed it on his crotch like a raw fish, but it was like a West Marlin mackerel. Wow. And like this is what I'm remembering. And like,
is this at the? Where was it?
It was at the Moda Center. The mackerel. He was just like, he got into bed with his wife because he rubbed a raw fish on his crotch, hoping his wife would think he was cheating. And then he gets into bed and she's like, "Is that a Northwestern Marlin?" And he's like, "Damn it, she's Asian. They know their fish." And like, I went home and repeated that to my wife, and my wife's Japanese, and she's like, "Yeah, well, he's right. We do know our fish."
Yeah. Okay. No, I was talking about the one where he was trying to. Or I didn't know you were there, but he was trying to
Lucas and I were definitely there. Yeah.
He was trying to unlock his wife's phone, and he just like made the face and the noise. Yeah, I forget what. Yeah,
it was super racist. Yeah, and it worked. Yeah, that was fuck.
That was fucking crazy. And I was just like, okay, yeah, but
it's like that's why you had us bag up our phones, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but
you didn't want nobody filming that.
Want to claim the dude is racist while also certain being people married to that person for 20-something years?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, you're sure you could be raising as Asian people, and you wanted to love one and have raise your only kids for the majority of your life. Like that's a lot of dedication to a race you think is under you. Or like,
see, sincere. That's what's fucking crazy, man. It's because I did a joke. It was, some people considered it racist. All I was doing was repeating what my wife had said because this happened when you remember when Roe v. Wade got overturned maybe a couple years ago, the abortion law. Well, yeah,
that means we could get the abortion again, right?
Well, that means certain states are allowed to ban abortions if they want to. So it's bad news that Roe v. Wade got overturned. But when it did, I asked my wife about it. I was like, "How do they feel about abortions in Japan?" And my wife, joking around, is like, "Oh, they can't do abortions in Japan." I was like, what? What are you talking about? And she's like, well, the fetuses are so fast. They move like ninjas. They dodge the needles.
Oh, wow.
She was just kidding.
I instantly thought of when the samurais have to...
Yes, exactly. Yeah, see, I thought it was fucking funny too. So I wanted to share this on stage because I thought it was funny. Yeah. But another person at the show got real upset about it.
Oh, yeah?
Real mad.
Yeah, I don't be caring about those people.
And see, what... Like... And it was an open mic too, and like, what's crazy? Like, if it's an open mic, let that shit go. That's practice. However, if this was a showcase that you paid me to do, you paid me to like, based on my act, and I fucking improvised this, lied into me. Lied into me.
Yeah, if it's not funny, then that's the part that should be laid into.
Exactly.
Like, that's the if the joke didn't hit, there's like, oh, that joke wasn't good.
Well, the comics didn't laugh at it, but there were 3 frat guys who fucking cracked the fuck up about it. They
you win some, you lose.
They fucking fell over laughing at that shit, and it's like,
sometimes you get the wrong.
It's I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I'm trying to be cool, but it is fun to accuse certain people of being a racist.
Oh yeah,
because like I used to host a mic called the Automatic Mic on Division every first and third Wednesday, but we lost that mic.
Oh, I thought you guys just did it.
We did like 4 of them, and then the shit got canceled.
Oh, I thought you guys did like last week or something.
We did it last night, and
last night, that's what it was.
It went okay. It was fun, but yeah, the owner sent me an email today saying, "Hey, it's not financially working. Wish you luck in the future." Wasn't mean or nothing, and we're like, okay. So my partner Heather Goldberg and we are looking for a new venue to start some shit. But
were you supposed to start a podcast with her?
I don't know about a podcast. No, we were running the automatic open mic for a few weeks now.
Oh, okay.
And then that shit got canceled.
2 women you're supposed to do a podcast with.
I was gonna
start up.
Well, yeah, we recorded a few episodes, but then we found out the name we chose, The Right Swipe, that shit was already taken.
Oh yeah, it's like some Asian dudes or something.
No, it's 2 podcasts that have the name The Right Swipe. So we would have been the 3rd had we started publishing. No, we were just testing the waters. Oh yeah. We were just testing the waters and seeing shit. But nah, we're retooling right now, and we're probably gonna come back. Okay. And this is it's trial and error. Yeah, you got to figure out what works, what doesn't, and I thought The Right Swipe was a dope ass name, but apparently it's too dope. Yeah, it's we would have been the 3rd ones. I'm late to the party. But one of the female comedians, one of the newer female comedians who's involved in the podcast, she thought of a name. It's really good, and it'll hopefully debut soon.
Yeah. Okay. How do female comedians, how does all that relationship work? Is there any weird tension as far as hanging out with female comedians?
God damn it, for me, yes, it has been in the past, but not worth it. Don't shit where you eat. Just fucking avoid that shit. And there's a lot of other women out there who are not fucking comedians, you idiot. And when it's put to you that way, that makes a lot of sense. And I need to be smarter about this shit, and it's...
Yeah, because there's one lane that's it's open, and the other one that could literally just have a direct impact on your career.
And that's not my intention to make shit weird and awkward. Lucas was mentioning that he's been a huge advocate of dude, fucking stop doing this shit.
Yeah, he said all the comedians. He said it's a big running thing that all the comedians will meet up to write jokes, and none of them will write jokes. They will just fuck. And then
nobody's asked me to write jokes.
None of them
the cons outweigh the pros by
tremendously. It's crazy.
Yes, it's insane. And so, yeah.
Okay, so it's a lighter topic. So I did want to.
Please steer lighter, please. Holy fuck!
Change the topic a little bit.
Oh my god!
The something I did want to talk to you about because I did see you talk on the Power Mom.
Yes, the podcast with Gene DeWeber called Obsessive Comic Disorder. New episodes whenever he feels like dropping them. I don't think he has a set schedule.
That's kind of like our thing.
Yeah. And there's an entire back catalog. Enjoy the back catalog. And by the time,
like our thing.
Exactly. And by the time you're done enjoying the back catalog, hey, you know what? I bet a new episode drops. And won't that be fun?
So I saw you guys.
Yeah.
What was the thing? It was called Power Bomb. Power Slam.
The graphic novel we reviewed was called "Do a Power Bomb" by Daniel Warren Johnson. He's an artist and a writer, and the graphic novel's amazing. Well, it was also where I bought the comic. I bought the comic from a shop in Vancouver, Washington called I Like Comics, and the guy working the counter was also one of the owners. Which I think that's so cool to see at a comic book shop, because that means you're passionate, like you give a shit. And he saw that book and he's like, dude, this is probably one of the best comics I've read in like 10 years. And he said Daniel Warren Johnson came here to sign comic books, and he was the nicest guy out of everybody I've had come here do it, because everybody else has been kind of a dipshit. But he's the only one who I'd invite back because he was so kind and took pictures with everybody and stayed later than he was supposed to. And like, I was like, fuck, dude, this guy sounds like a saint. Yeah. And so, like, I heard that, and I was excited to read the book, and yeah, I read it, and fuck, it was good, and I was happy to talk with Gene Dweber about it, and yeah, it was good shit.
Yeah, and so when you were referencing back on, because as a kid, I was really into WWE.
Hell
that was my biggest. Well, I guess you kind of got to tell me what era I was into. Because
hit me.
I was into it. My favorite of all time has always been Jeff Hardy. Like, that's always been my number one.
Okay, we're kind of linked. I love the Hardy Boys. I love Team Extreme. Matt and Jeff, them two. Cameron, like, North Carolina, man. They fucking.
I used to want the sleeves as a kid. I even used to do the shit to my hair that was straighten it and shit, and try to get. It was the face paint, all of it.
Did you see when Jeff Hardy won the WWE title for the first time?
Against
I forgot who it was against, man. His first title match though ever that he had was on Monday Night Raw with The Undertaker. It was a ladder match for the title, and he didn't beat him, but he came close. And The Undertaker raised his hand at the end, saying, "This kid's got it." He got the respect from The Undertaker. He got the rub, as they say in the wrestling business. Yeah, dude, I could talk about wrestling fucking forever, man. And what you're referencing with Jeff Hardy, that was known as the Attitude Era, the late 90s of wrestling. That's when shit got fucking...
Yeah, that was my time. That was definitely like my time.
Well, Vince McMahon at the time was very scared of the competition, WCW, taking away their shit. And for 82 weeks in a row, they beat him in the ratings on Monday night. And so Vince McMahon and their company, they're like...
Who did they have?
At the time in the Attitude Era, who did WWE or WWF, I say at the time, who did they have?
Was it WWF still?
It was WWF until like, I think 2002. There was a lawsuit, or there was a thing with...
For me, it was always WWE.
It was always WWE for you?
Yeah, because I'm 2000. Like, I was born 2000. So, like, 2.
Oh, you know yeah. You were very young, man. Shit. Okay. Yeah, that was when you were born, that was kind of like when the Attitude Era was coming to an end. The Attitude Era in wrestling was, well, it was the reason it got so crazy was because Vince McMahon was losing in the ratings, and so they were basically like saying, okay, we're going to go all Jerry Springer, trash TV, do the most crazy, outlandish, ridiculous
Triple
shit you
H,
can.
Michael,
Degeneration X, fucking shit up.
That's my number 2 right there.
You make the rules and we will break them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they got so many documentaries that you're like, you young guys can watch and like study it, and I wish that shit was around when I was y'all's age.
We used to get in trouble for doing the
DX chop.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that when I was like in college, dude. I remember hearing about like they were like kindergartners are getting in trouble for doing the DX chop. That's the cutest shit I've ever fucking heard of. Is like, dude, to see a 5-year-old do the DX chop, that's hilarious.
Crazy. And it was like for pure disrespectful reasons. Like teachers were just suck it. Like we didn't give a fuck.
Suck it. That was the fucking man. That's what DX said.
Yeah,
that's what the New Age Outlaws said. Yeah. Fucking Billy Gunn and
they started
X-Pac. No, Road Dogg. God damn, that was a great time in wrestling too, was the late 90s, because the internet wasn't really a mass thing. And so people couldn't go online, and most people didn't go online and get spoilers. So in the late 90s, when people came out, it was a legit surprise, and nobody in the arena knew what was going to happen. Yeah. But nowadays, everybody's online. Everybody's looking at the dirt sheets. Everybody knows who's signed with what and who's been spotted where. And they're probably at the arena, so they're going to be chanting fucking like what CM Punk before he comes out and then he comes out, and it is
That's
cool.
Gotta be.
It is cool.
I see that online.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, we're now like they know the CM Punk's coming back for the event. I'm like, that's fucking weird.
And you see signs, and it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy he's back. He's great. I can't wait to see what he does in WWE. This is going to be fun. But at the same time, in the late 90s, in the late 90s, if nobody fucking knew, if nobody had any signs, if nobody was doing any pre-chants, and just, you know, like fucking, that would have been amazing.
Who's your favorite? Let's say your top 5.
Oh, top 5? Fuck.
That's hard.
Well, you know what? No, I can give you my top 1 right now.
Okay.
Bryan Danielson.
Okay, that is a niche.
Bryan Danielson, are you familiar with him? He's in AEW now. He was Daniel Bryan in WWE, the American Dragon.
Is he a white dude?
He's a white dude with a beard.
He looks like just regular. Does it like nothing?
But
like,
man, his moves, his ring work, and I enjoyed him on the microphone immensely in WWE when, in like maybe 2014, 2015, I might be getting them years wrong, but I thought in those,
I think I know who you're talking about.
He main evented WrestleMania 30 and fucking won the title. He unified the world heavyweight and the fucking and down.
I know who you're talking about.
That guy was my favorite, and I might be a little biased on this because I saw him at the Moda Center when they were doing a house show. And a house show in wrestling is when it's not on television, but it's basically their practice. It's pro wrestling open mic,
mics.
but with the top guys. Yeah, they're trying shit. Yeah. And I had a much longer beard at the time. I was like maybe down to there. Damn. And I was in the aisle. So like I'm reaching my hand out. I can like they can give me high fives if they want.
Yeah. Like
if they want to. Yeah. CM Punk didn't give me a high five. He looked in my direction. And he was like, nah. And he kept walking.
It's part of his character.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. And but Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, well, yeah, Bryan Danielson's his real name. That's what I should say. Yeah. But anyway, he sees me, sees that we have similar beards. Screams, he's like, and he runs over and he rubs his beard up against mine. Oh shit. And gave me a hug. And not like that's my favorite. He was my favorite before that happened. So that's like Michael Jordan sinking a 3 and then high-fiving you and when you're in the front row. And so that's kind of why Daniel Bryan is number 1 in my heart. But number 2 has got to be Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
I met Hulk Hogan when I was 6 or 7 years old in Oregon City.
Hulk Hogan, I wasn't there for the thing. The only thing I got for Hulk Hogan was he just kept dropping the M-bomb.
That's his legacy now.
Yeah,
isn't that fucking terrible?
That sucks so
That's
hard.
His legacy.
Well, he was on the phone, wasn't he?
I think he was.
And I think he just didn't want his daughter dating black guys or something.
I think he said it. Not that I'm excusing it at all, but I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, I get it.
I'm thinking he said it out of anger. Well, it's because. It's when people get angry and hurt, they try to think of the most hurtful shit they can do because like they don't like being hurt, so they want to hurt that person as much as they can. So they go to the easiest thing to fucking. They know the nerve that they're gonna scratch. Certain people do that. Not excusing it, but I'm just saying I think that's why they do it.
What happened?
Yeah, I think that might have been what he did.
What was the context around why or who was he talking to?
I think he was talking to his daughter or his son or some shit. I don't really know. I mean,
I thought it was like that one. What's his name? Sterling guy who owned the Spurs or something before. He was also caught saying like, "I don't." Oh, but he was talking about like his wife. He was talking to his wife.
No, the Clippers. I think you're thinking of the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't want his wife like fucking the players or something like that.
No, it was weird.
Fucking, like, Magic Johnson.
No, it was insane. It was weirder than that. He didn't want her taking pictures with them, but he said, "I don't care if you sleep with them. I just don't want you taking pictures." Like, what the fuck?
That is weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
Like, yeah, she was sleeping with him too then.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, if he was like 80, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, she was sleeping with somebody. And I don't see why not. They all right there.
Yeah. Keep it local, I suppose.
Yeah. Just don't take pictures with him is weird. I wonder what the reason was. Maybe it was just the ego. Like, you don't see one.
He felt it as shame, and he felt it as shame amongst his friends, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because like, when you know something's going on versus like when you can see it, like that ego thing could really play. And when you amongst like your peers and shit, and they could be like, what is that's the dude you're railing down your wife, and then it's like,
yeah,
like, I know it's happening, but fuck, I don't want to see just them hanging out with her. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it wasn't worth saying.
Yeah, Donald Sterling, I think his name was. I can't remember. I remember when that shit kind of went down.
Yeah.
It was wild, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
People
even watch
hard to publicly like. Like,
Yeah.
Louis C.K. is my second favorite comedian. And how many N-bombs and crazy things he's involved in. The masturbation accusations and... Not even accusations. He was really masturbating.
He did it, yeah. He admitted it, yeah.
But I don't know how, like, illegal it was. Like,
it's creepy. It's definitely creepy. Nobody can disagree that it's not creepy.
I like dragging out in front of people a little bit. Not in front of anybody.
Well, yeah, whoever requests it. But it seems like these... Like, one of my good friends said he needs more than consent. He's like, I need consent and enthusiasm.
Like, you shouldn't need people to tell you no most of the time. Like, you should know.
Yeah, if somebody's holding back tears and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you should, like most of the time,
take a fucking clue, man.
I don't know what your background's like. I know a little bit.
You
will get hired.
Well, see, that's the fucking crazy thing is I did security in the military. And it's not like I volunteered for this shit. Like, you are in a job. You pick a job before you join, and then you go to boot camp, and then A school, and then the fleet, and then you do that fucking job. But sometimes they can just pluck you out and put you wherever the fuck they want. And they put me in security, which is basically the police department on the ship. I didn't even want to do that.
Yeah.
They plucked me out, put me in there, and I had to start training for that shit. Yeah. And I had a supervisor who trained us like crazy for like SWAT type situations within the boat, like internal conflict. Like if people went fucking crazy and took hostages and shit. Never ever happened. But man, they trained us like it could happen any minute. Shit, like you don't know. And it never fucking that makes me so mad. I trained so hard for some shit that just it's like think about going to baseball practice for just years and then never playing a game. And that's all the fuck it was. It was just a bunch of grounders but never any real situation involving any real kind of danger and shit. And
okay, I forgot to ask you when you were in the Navy, where were you at?
I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan.
Okay.
From 2002 to 2007. So I lived in Japan for 5 years.
Two major things are going on.
Hit me.
9/11 just happened.
Yeah.
So you joined in right after 9/11. I don't know as far as military tension goes. I'm assuming it's a little high.
It was
feeling a little hectic.
Record recruiting numbers were happening right after 9/11. The fucking
crazy in there.
Yeah,
you know?
The recruiting offices were bombarded.
Also, you are an American in Japan.
Yeah.
I know it was like the 40s or something, right? When the bad shit happened.
Oh, with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah. The two nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
The only two nuclear bombs in human history that have ever dropped on a nation.
Yeah, and like those are like the middle two cities, right? Like,
killed a fuck ton of people. And I think I watched a documentary about that back in the day, and I think the reason that United States resorted to that is because Japan was kicking ass. Their kamikaze pilots were fucking up the U.S. Navy like bad. Like they were losing hardcore. And that was like their last resort was nuclear weapons. Which is doesn't justify it, but it's still shitty, man.
If you're dealing with an opponent that is like, we will not quit.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And
your only option is nukes. Must be a pretty good goddamn opponent.
Yeah, because they were pretty heavy on the we're not gonna.
No, we wouldn't even. I still don't even think they're allowed to have their own military. I think they have their own National Guard, but their military is us being there.
Oh wow!
And
just
we
like bases and
we are there in our bases, and we represent them as a military. Like if anybody fucked with them, you're fucking with us.
Yeah,
and you get the full force of the American military if you fuck with Japan.
Kind of like the apology that we just gave them.
We fucked you up, but we'll protect you. Okay. But keep your economy going and keep trading with us and keep economics flowing. Can't fuck with the money. Can never fuck with the money.
Yeah, because what was the Pearl Harbor?
That was 1942, December 7th, which was, I think, yesterday. Yesterday was the 80th something anniversary. I'm not good at math.
Oh, R.I.P., I guess. It was pretty bad, wasn't it? Like, I don't remember.
They Fuck, man. I watched a documentary about that shit too, man. They trained. Those pilots trained for 8 months solid with targets and shit, and they didn't attack until they at least got an average of 80% or more of hitting their targets. And that's when they struck. And they struck on a Sunday morning when they knew they would be tired, possibly hungover from Saturday night. You know?
Just thinking
Yeah.
any.
Yeah.
How many planes was it?
That bombed them?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know the details, and I should.
Because in my head, I'm thinking like 2.
No, it was a bunch of planes that
Yeah.
dropped a lot of bombs, and they sunk 2 destroyers, I want to say, but I could be wrong. But yeah, and they killed thousands of dudes, and it was in the newspapers the next morning that like, yeah, Japan bombs Pearl Harbor, thousands dead. And based on those headlines in every newspaper in the country, the recruiting numbers shot the fuck up. And it's like,
damn.
you shouldn't have done that, because
Yeah.
all you did was, you know, like that dumb Michael Bay movie, you woke up a sleeping giant.
That's crazy. And then what the fuck? Why did they do that?
It's war. A
No,
lot
I
of
mean, like,
times,
what was going on before with us in Japan for them to do the Pearl Harbor thing?
I guess they saw Hitler in the Axis power and they bet on the wrong horse. They thought that Hitler was going to win, and shit didn't happen that way. And whoops, you know, like,
That's extreme overkill. And that, like in just the Middle East, as the wedding bombings, the schools that we bomb, like it's those just.
well, they bomb you and I ain't doing shit.
Oh
dude.
yeah,
we ain't supporting that.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I pay taxes.
yeah, that's what fucking
heavily.
sucks. If you pay taxes, you're part of it.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't wish to pay taxes. I also don't want to go to jail more than I don't.
I appreciate you. I wish we had a system in our country where we could like direct our taxes.
I would put them to the
You know,
streets. This
like
street
that's
down
what I'm
here,
saying. Like,
actually.
where do you want this to go? Do you want this to go to
God damn it.
education? Do you want this to go to the DEA?
No, I want this to go to
DEA gets
92nd
nothing.
and Foster.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should vote on where our tax dollars go,
Yeah,
and they
that'd be great.
go based on that. That'd be fun.
It's not gonna happen.
No, of course it won't. Never, fucking
Just
ever.
not
That'll
gonna
never happen ever.
That shit sounds too good. Yeah, you should give us some of our money back.
Nope.
No.
Are you familiar with the term kayfabe? Kayfabe is an old carnival term because that's where pro wrestling started. Because pro wrestling in the United States started in like the 1880s,
Damn.
and it was legit wrestlers when it started.
Yeah, I did
and
actual wrestling. in
yeah,
high
they
school.
were. But the thing was, is guys would get each other in holds for like 45 minutes, and it was fucking boring.
Yeah,
and the
real
audience would
wrestling is fun
leave,
to watch.
and so the wrestlers understood like we got to spice this up and make it more exciting, and that's when pro wrestling started.
When did they? What did it start with? Vince?
It started off as a
Spicing it?
legit competition, but yeah, it just got way too boring.
Yeah, I mean, like who started spicing it up?
It was the wrestlers. They wanted to make more money. They didn't want to, and so they're like, yeah, and the term is lay down. Like if you're, if you're gonna lose for a person, it means I'm gonna lay down for them. You know, and when it's a scripted thing that happens, that's called a work. That means you're working the crowd. But if you go off script and you punch somebody in the face for real because you're mad at them, that's known as a shoot.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about some examples.
Oh yeah.
Like when? No, I was gonna ask like when has that happened?
When does it happen?
I'm
Oh
assuming they
man,
made the term. Because it's like
there's footage of people who have like broken character and thrown real punches, like Antonio Inoki, a wrestler from Japan. I forgot who he was. But if you just go to YouTube and type in Antonio Inoki shoot, you'll see the match that it was in. Because there was this dude that he was wrestling in Japan. And he was throwing like the fake punches or like the work punches, making it look like he was doing it. But the guy wasn't selling it. And what selling it means is like you act like you're getting hurt and you fucking play your part.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't doing it. And so Antonio was getting pissed, and so he just threw real fucking punches.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like, and you can see him like punch this dude hard and start kicking him in the head like for real. And type in Antonio Inoki shoot whenever you get a chance. It's wild because that's the crazy thing about pro wrestling is it's not really a sport. But it can turn into a sport in a second. Jim Ross had so much passion when he was an announcer, like the heart that he put into that, like the emotion. Yeah, god damn it. And he's He's still good. He's not what he once was, but he's still announcing for an organization right now called AEW.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, that's a pretty big organization.
I would say so. Yeah, I think they're number 2 to WWE, but and he's working for them now. But yeah, in the Attitude Era, fuck, he was so good. Like just hearing his voice, you need passionate announcers. Absolutely. Yeah, he. I don't know. Like if I was a booker, I don't know if I would tell him the results of the match, who was going to win and who wasn't, because knowing that he's obviously a fan of the art form because he's going so nuts over it. So I think to keep that a surprise, who was going to win, I think you would get a more genuine reaction out of them. But I don't know if that's how they did it. I don't know if he was giving the winners in advance or whatnot. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if he knew. Yeah, I assumed he did just because. I guess
probably he's a behind the scenes guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's privy to that shit.
Production is like there's so much going on.
Yeah,
like, you gotta know like a little bit, and it's still gotta be crazy to see.
Yeah,
I'm assuming some of that wasn't just all like stage fake. Like,
no,
gotta be fun and crazy to see.
When the Undertaker threw Mankind off that cage at 20 feet through the fucking table, and he's like, "Oh my god, they killed him!" I think that was a genuine response. Or when he had to, I mean, and this poor guy, like when Owen Hart died. You know, and Jim Ross had to get on the air and tell everybody like, "Hey, this isn't part of the show. This isn't scripted." One of our
died on the
thing. The thing was he was supposed to be rappelled down into the ring with like a harness, and the shit snapped, and I think he fell like 90, 100 feet, and he died, and
instantly.
I think he died at the hospital later, but the ambulance came and got him, and then they had to get on the air and be like, "Yo, this is not part of the story. This is not scripted. This dude legit died, and this is a horrible thing." And
that sucks.
like, yeah.
What happened with the Eddie?
With Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah.
I believe it was drugs.
Was it?
I don't want to speculate. I think it was. I remember hearing about it at the time, and I remember being sad at the time.
Where did he die at?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought he died like in the ring or something.
No, he died young. He was 36. 36, 37.
So it was outside the ring. Like it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yeah. I don't know why I thought he like also fell from some like.
No, Eddie Guerrero didn't. No, Owen Hart. I think you could say he was fatally wounded in the ring and then died in the hospital. If I remember the facts right, I may not.
Yeah.
But just Damn,
that sucks. Yeah. How many people have died in the ring?
I don't know about
I
people.
guess over time it's probably hard to tell. Probably for like WWF to WWE.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes who died young.
Yeah,
I guess you could say that.
Dealing with a lot of like steroids, a lot of drug use, a lot of alcohol.
Mm-hmm. It's a hard life.
Health issues and shit. And then also CTE. Like that's a lot of bouncing and hitting. And
yep, it's a lot of bumps, man. I mean, that shit wears on your body, and these guys are on the road like 90% of the year, missing their families grow up and shit, and they're sacrificing a lot to entertain us, and I find that admirable, I mean, I
appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that sacrifice, Fuck.
What Jeff Hardy was doing back in the day, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio. I didn't know how bad. I thought Rey Mysterio was invincible. I don't know. I didn't assume
he's still going. Yeah. And his son Dominic is fucking crushing, man. Yeah, Dominic is a great wrestling character. He's a heel right now. He's a bad guy. Yeah. He and Rey had a match at WrestleMania. And
they did that already?
Yeah. Fuck, it's so good. And they were tag team champions for a little bit, which I think that had to make him proud as a dad. Yeah. Being tag team champions with your son. That's fucking cool. And Dominic Mysterio is the shit. I
don't know nothing about him.
He's good.
Yeah, does he also do the mask or not?
No, he does not. And he's taller than his dad. He's like a foot taller than him. And he's got this mullet that looks just like Eddie Guerrero's mullet. Wow. And he's just such an asshole. It's so much fun. He's so good at this asshole character he's got. He's fantastic. I see nothing but bright things for that kid in his future. He's going to be great.
Dedicated the wrestlers, like even on podcasts, they keep the same animosity towards the other people. Like even I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually hate his son. It's like fuck him, this piece of shit. Like it's obviously for
it's for the story.
The story, you know, but like even on like podcasts, I seen Rey Mysterio on when they mentioned it, like, oh yeah, and you're saying, like, oh no, not that asshole.
That's
like,
what's called
during the time before
Yeah.
the WrestleMania thing, he was still like making sure in character. Yeah.
Don't break kayfabe. That's what that's called. If you break character, that's called breaking kayfabe.
What is that, like an acronym?
Nope. Kayfabe was just an old. I missed that part of the story. I was going to tell. I was talking about it earlier on. You can rewind if you want to fucking prove it, but fucking no. It was the carnival shit.
Gotcha.
Kayfabe. It was an old carnival term, so it just meant that like you had to stay in character. So, and yeah, wrestlers like from the 60s and the 70s, they had to stay in character. Like, if they went out to a bar after a wrestling show and they lost a bar fight, you could lose your wrestling job because of that shit.
Yeah.
Because if you if you break the reputation, but if you win the bar fight, they'll pay your bail. They'll pay for your lawyer, and you get back on the road. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like, let's say in the 1970s, like hypothetically, Ric Flair was in a bar fight and he beat the shit out of a dude, and the newspaper's like, "Oh, world champion Ric Flair fucking knocked out the local tough guy," you know? Then
because they're athletes, like they're really hard. But being like a combat athlete and being an athlete are like two different things. Because they're like CM Punk showed. Like, he tried translating over. He did not do too good over.
He did not, no.
He got his ass whooped over here at MMA.
Yeah, Mickey, oh, God damn it, who was it? Was it Mickey Gall and Mike Jackson? Were the two dudes he lost to?
Oh, who he lost to?
Who he lost to in UFC. Yeah, his UFC career. I mean,
I just know it was like he lost to people who was like,
Mickey Gall's a bad motherfucker.
If you're in the UFC, you're bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a select group in the UFC.
Whew, them guys are scary. Well, see, that's the thing, though. I think, because Brock Lesnar was a WWE guy, and then he transitioned over to the UFC, and he fucking dominated, dude.
Yeah.
He became the heavyweight champion, and people were like, okay, this guy's for real.
He was a athlete before that, though, too.
Well, he was a
wrestler.
He was a wrestler. He was an NAACP, or no, and what's the
NCAA?
NCAA. What the fuck am I saying?
You're like NAACP.
Yeah, that's Brock Lesnar. If you like, he was an NAACP advocate.
Yeah, which is a huge. Like, that's not like he was just some random college.
No,
he was an extremely good wrestler.
Yeah,
and that's
one of the best in the country.
So he could have just went straight over to the UFC thing. Like, out of that, like, from that.
Well, it wasn't as big when he got out of college, but WWE was big, and they were willing to pay the money, and he made a lot of money. And
I'm definitely, if I was Brock, I'm going to WWE, because they're not going to have me doing Rey Mysterio shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I'm not going to be flying.
No, they did. They did, man. WrestleMania 19, they had him doing a shooting star press, which is a fucking front flip off the turnbuckle. Motherfucker almost breaks his neck. You got to watch that shit. WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 19. It was WrestleMania 19 from Seattle, Washington. He almost breaks his fucking neck. Yeah, type in Lesnar botch WrestleMania 19. Because that's what that's called, is when they fuck up a move, it's called a botch. Almost broke his goddamn neck. Shooting star press.
That's just far as hell.
Yep.
Oh!
Yep.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. That's way now. Why does he think he's that?
Well, see, that's the crazy thing, dude, is there's footage of him nailing that move flawlessly.
Yeah.
In like OVW, which is Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was like a developmental kind of thing for them. If you Google Brock Lesnar shooting star press from Ohio Valley Wrestling when he was a younger man, flawless in a crowd of like 20 people. And so it's like, okay, well, this guy knocked it out of the park in front of 20 people. He's ready for the big time. Yeah. But
who knows what they're doing?
Who knows?
Days,
there might have been sweat on the rope that caused him to slip. Maybe
could have had a cramp.
That's exactly right. There's all sorts of factors that could have got into it, and one of them did at WrestleMania 19, the biggest stage of the year, and he almost breaks his neck. And there's also footage of him backstage afterward, and like the paramedics trying to go towards him and like look at him, and he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And they're scared shitless because he's a fucking brick shit house. You know, he's probably one of the.
He looked good, but he looked really close.
Yeah,
like he like deadly close. Like
it would have
weight too.
Yeah, it would have killed a regular man. I think if a regular dude would have been doing that, they would have died right there in the ring in the main event of WrestleMania. Oh, what? can't find where my lighter went. You got a lighter?
Did I take your lighter? I think I stole your lighter. It's
Oh,
yours?
yep. I had a black Bic
That
with
is
the
yours.
safety
I don't
thing
have
removed.
I don't have a black Bic in here. That is yours.
I always take a key and remove this safety thing right
okay.
here.
I felt it when I was lighting it, and I was like, "That's kind of weird."
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
Okay.
remove this safety thing. Fucking bugs the shit
I was
out of
like,
me.
"Yeah, I know I don't have a black Bic in here."
My wife refers to me as a cat whisperer because sometimes we'll walk around the neighborhood and
A cat pervert.
not pervert. I love cats. I think they're fascinating creatures.
Yeah, bro. You're.
Shit. He's got a championship belt.
Oh yeah, we got.
Oh
we
fuck
do.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm Marcos.
Fuck yeah, Brandon.
Very nice to meet
Very nice to meet you, Marcos. Fuck yes.
Told you what?
Dude, that is dope.
Was it that one?
Yo, sincere, this is a good time to tell you about the what Lucas and I got planned for the Montevilla mic coming up very
go
soon.
ahead.
We are going to be doing an event very soon called Tag Team Tuesdays, where it's going to be 2 stand-up comedians with their act. You have to team up with another comedian, and you get a 5-minute spot. And the winners of this, I've already ordered 2 custom belts from Trophy Smack, Portland Comedy Tag Team Champions. Teams of 2 comedians have 5 minutes to make the crowd laugh, and you got to come up with a team name. You got to come up with matching outfits. Yeah, this is a nice looking belt, dude. This is dope.
little.
I like it
I
though.
say little belt.
It's pretty cool though. I like
It's not
it.
standard size.
No, it's
It's not
not the-
regulation. Yeah.
No, those, dude. I've been to WWE.com. Those fuckers are expensive.
Whew.
Nah, this
Don't
is
they got
the.
real diamonds in there too?
I think so. This is the belt I ordered for the competition that's going to be happening at Montevilla.
wow.
I actually ordered these belts. They're probably going to be arriving tomorrow, and we're going to start this competition
it's
6
2
weeks from
belts? Is it
Tuesday.
3 belts? Oh, I'm gonna compete.
You should. You got to find a
Yeah.
teammate, dude, and sign up. Oh, if I bomb right now with my coffee joke, I suppose I could.
We all like coffee.
Well, yeah. Well, the premise of that shit
I
is
hate coffee.
Well, I'm talking about like, 'cause I take my coffee black. How do you like your coffee?
I like
Yeah. I feel you. Everybody takes that shit different. I take my coffee black, and my stepdad told me a story recently. He was saying like they did a study down in Australia, and they've determined that 95% of psychopaths prefer black coffee. And like when he told me that shit, it made me mad. Like I wanted to go to Australia and find this research team and murder them in a very violent fashion, and then bathe in their blood. And then we'll see who's a psycho.
okay.
Yeah, see, that's the joke.
You could have blinked twice, you know what I mean?
No, but see, I got a fucking,
yeah.
I got a recovery from that shit too. If the audience don't laugh, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, is that joke too dark for you? Should I add some cream, maybe some sugar, sweeten it up?
Yeah.
So I got a way out.
I feel like you could.
I don't like coffee. I actually hate coffee.
Even iced coffee. We
I
tried
hate
iced coffee.
man.
No, bro, you did.
They should make some caffeinated creamer, and I'll just drink milk and creamer.
You might be onto an idea here.
But I am lactose. I will be having some rough mornings. Yeah. I don't,
Shit.
Yeah. Put this guy on the mic.
yeah. That's my coffee, bitch.
Killer. Love it.
You like eggnog.
Fuck yeah.
Come
Yeah.
to the show.
Huh?
Come to the show.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Come to
Oh,
the show.
I couldn't. You don't have a mic. I couldn't hear you.
Do you have a live
Yeah,
taping
you should
coming up,
probably
Sincere?
Shut the fuck up forever. Oh, okay. So you had a crazy story I wanted to kind of ask about.
Okay, hit me.
You got blackmailed with your dick pics
Yeah.
on the internet
Uh-huh.
for money.
Yes.
That is okay. I mean, you could probably tell it better than.
Oh, yeah. The bit that it's based on. Yeah, this woman on a dating app fucking, what
Is
did
it
she
just
do?
a bit?
No, this is based
Okay,
on a true
cool.
story.
Okay,
This
this is
like, I mean, the bit I exaggerated and inflated. Like that's the secret to comedy. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you take real life situations and you enhance, inflate, and.
Yeah.
But nah, the real story that happened was, it was a chick I met on a dating app. She directs me to WhatsApp. She's like, hey, let's go to WhatsApp and chat, and then
Some
fucking
scam and shit.
yeah. Sent me some fucking nudes. Thought it was her, and then she's like, send me a full nude. And I'm like, well, how do I know you're really you? And she's like saying, what do you want? And I was like, selfie with a video game controller, selfie in front of your fridge, selfie in front of the microwave, and she's passing all of them quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I fall for it, and then tries to blackmail me, and then I'm like, no. Fuck you. Like, that's a good looking photo. Like, yeah, let me show you some shit, dude. I used to.
Wait, if it's the.
Well, no, I've lost. Sincerely, it's not the nude photo, motherfucker. Like, why would you go right there?
Like, all right,
no, it's the. Dude, I've been exercising a lot, like, lately, dude. I've lost 50 pounds, like, within the last.
Oh, shit, that's a lot.
Yeah, like, within the last.
A lot of weight.
Yeah, let me show you a before picture.
That's dope.
It's insane. It's nuts. Dude, I looked. Yeah, look at that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's me before, dude.
You're a wrecking ball.
I think so.
Yeah.
An up and comer.
Yeah. And I see with the beard now what you mean.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah, it was a longer beard too. But no, dude, this was like at the height of like me working out and all that shit. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to send this. She's like, I'm going to send this to all your female comedy friends. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Go for it. And you're like, and then she was like, I'm going to send it to your family. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Do that. Like, I'm not, they wanted $500. And I'm like, I'm not giving you $500, you piece of shit. Yeah. And I remember another comedian, but they did pay the money when they got blackmailed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Lucas, you son of a
No,
bitch.
not Lucas. So it's real vague, dude.
I was like, this is the worst podcast ever.
I'm sorry, man. Some shit's got to be a mystery.
Did it ever get around? Did you ever hear back about the nude?
Oh, no. I just said, yeah, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah.
And then I went to Facebook and was like, yeah, if you get a nude photo of me, it's because I'm not going to pay this ransom. So whatever. And yeah, they never sent it out.
How you going to deal with fame? You think you'd be okay with that?
Yeah.
What kind of famous, like, where do you reach it for as far as comedy goes?
Right now, I'm having fun. And I just want to have fun. Fun's my main goal with shit. Like,
goal.
Yeah, I'm getting booked twice a month on average for like paid showcases, and I'm cool with that. It's a low, easy, manageable number. And not to say that I wouldn't accept a Netflix special or like a stadium show, because like if that was ever offered to me, of course I would.
I mean,
but
like,
it's not what I'm like shooting for. I'm treating comedy a lot like golf. I play a few times a week, trying to have fun. Yeah, I put a lot of effort into my hobby. But my main goal is to have fun and to help people that I think are really fucking superstars in the making that are going to shoot to the top. Mm-hmm. Like Lucas Kopp and like Heather Goldberg. Mm-hmm. People that I like really believe in.
Oh, wait. She's like short-haired.
She dressed like the Dick at she was the Dick and Waldo at the Halloween special in Montevilla.
Damn it. Now I'm thinking of two different people again. I got to see her.
Yeah, Heather Goldberg.
Yeah, because...
Blue chipper, man.
What does she look like as her?
She's got glasses, short black
hair. Yeah, I like her.
Super funny.
Me and Hyla saw her recently. I think she was at Capitol, wasn't she?
She was. She was at the most recent Capitol show. Yeah.
Me and her, we liked her. She has like a weird energy to her. She didn't really sound or do exactly what I thought she was going to sound like. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she just caught me off guard, and I enjoyed her energy.
Yeah, she is... Dude, she's gotten into comedy. She's been into comedy like I think 3.5 months.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. She was getting advice from me, but she is so good. She has surpassed me. She has lapped me, and now I'm getting advice from her. Now I'm learning from her.
We never talked about Jamaldi.
Oh, the short list?
Yeah.
I'll get into the short list if you want to. Mm. Whatever you want to know about the short list, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I heard you talk about it on the OCD podcast.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to know, like, what exactly happened. I got he went out for cigarettes.
No, that was just me trying
milk.
to be dumb and funny. If you want to know the actual story, it was like, Mowdy had beef with, people I was linked to, and he didn't want to be associated with them, and he knew that I wouldn't.
Yeah, and there happened to be other comedians.
Yeah, it happened to be other comedians, and
it's different because it's in the workspace.
Yeah, and so he's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I quit. I don't want to do the mic with you no more.
Yeah.
So.
How many times did you guys do that, Mike? And also, how do you guys get to host a mic? Like, how does something like that get started?
What's crazy with the T3, the Trolley Trail Tavern?
That's the place.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, T3. I was walking. I was just on a fucking walk, and I was walking by that bar, and I saw that they had comedy written on the window. And I was like, what are they doing for comedy? So I went inside, and the bartender, who was also the owner, I was like, what do you guys do for comedy? And he's like, oh, nothing yet. I just wrote comedy. You know, like I'm going to get something started. I just don't have any idea. And I was like, oh, well, dude, I'm a comic. I design posters, and I showed him all the shit I did for Montevilla. And he was like, whoa, get the fuck out of here, dude. We got to talk. And, like, we talked, and then, yeah, I started the short list with me and Mowdy, and then that lasted for, like, maybe 4 months before before I found out the dude was an alleged Latino Proud Boy. Alleged. I'm going to say alleged.
Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe, yeah. He's like,
Maybe he's confident about it.
go to the subreddit for the full shit. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Somebody told me that there was some crazy shit online.
Yeah, that's an interesting title to have.
But well, the thing was, it was also out in Oak Grove, Oregon, just like straight, like a few miles outside of Portland. Like, nobody came to that shit. Like, maybe 2-3 comics. It was fucking depressing, man. It was almost like doing CPR on a corpse for 2 hours.
Gross.
Yeah, it sucked. It was
sounds stinky.
So I was like, I gotta quit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I quit. And then Heather and I got the automatic mic, and then
okay.
yeah, that shit lasted for like maybe 2 months, and now that's gone. But
I'll say, what is the factor? Because you go to open mics that are working. Like, I'm assuming Lucas's is still working.
the Montevilla is something happened, something magical happened with the Montevilla, dude. It was the right time. Like, Lucas is a great host. Plus, we promoted it right. Plus, we got the reputation going, and we've been going solid, strong for like over a year.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, is we are thinking of out of business gimmicks when we're doing fine, and I think that's what's keeping us afloat.
Yeah.
And it's a fun mic. People love it.
Yeah, that one's really good. I liked going to that one. Is the one that turned me on to start going to all the open mics and shit. But I noticed a lot of them don't get that same energy or passion towards them. Like, I went to Mama Fee's open mic before it got shut down recently, the Funhouse Lounge.
The Laughing Stocks,
The
yeah.
Laughing Stock. And that one, I liked it. I thought Mama Fee was a really good host. I thought
I would agree. I would say she's probably the most unselfish host in the entire scene.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time watching her host, and like, she would just introduce, she wouldn't make a joke in between comics. She would just introduce the next comics, and I'm like, that is
with a lot of energy.
That's really cool. That's I admire that.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
And she's been doing comedy for a while, and even recently, she still kind of keeps it light. She still keeps it kind of settled and getting people in on their times fast.
Mm-hmm.
And also trying to get people to go up and shit.
Yeah.
Like, she was talking to me and drilling me to like go, because there's days where I was like, I'm okay, and then she was like, nah, come on,
Oh,
come on.
fuck.
Getting my name written down and shit. And it
Yes.
was like, yeah, I appreciate that extra little push from somebody like that, because it was not needed. You know?
Oh yeah,
It was like,
encouragement is always appreciated. I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear an embarrassing story about one of my times at the Laughing Stocks?
more than ever.
It's not cool. It does not paint me in a good light at all. It fucking sucks.
Of course, yeah.
Oh man, it's the
We're still
worst.
recording, right?
Yeah,
All right.
it's the fucking worst, dude. Okay, well, I was there with one of my comedian friends who has a clown phobia. Do you know what the clown phobia, like, you don't like clowns?
Scared of clowns.
Yeah,
I
they're
used to be
scared.
scared of clowns.
Yeah, well, there's a room in the Funhouse Lounge that's like nothing but pictures of clowns, and it's weird. And,
Really?
Yeah, and so anyway, my friend who doesn't like clowns was like, they were like, oh fuck, I hate clowns. I'm nervous at this fucking mic. You know, like, oh, you know, like they were just nervous about that, and I was trying to hype them up. I was trying to be a good friend and be like, no, you got this. You're better than that. You're hilarious. You're very funny. I believe all those things. But then I also said at the end, you know what? You got this. Fuck this mic. And as I said, fuck this mic, Mama V was right behind me.
Oh, wow.
And that's all she heard.
God damn.
And she's like, yeah, thanks. And I'm like, No,
Oh,
I'm
her
sorry.
heart,
Context.
man. Yeah,
Like,
Mom P's so sweet too.
I tried to apologize, like, and I felt so terrible. You know,
Yeah,
like
that is hard. That's a hard one to be like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I was only trying to hype up a friend. That's all I was trying to
Yeah.
do. Like that was
Yeah.
my main intention.
Did you ever
And
get the spin the block with her again?
I did not. No, I was very embarrassed, and I was like, I'm not going back. Fuck, you fucking kidding
Mama
me?
Fee is, I think, soon maybe gonna be like one of the next guests.
Okay,
Yeah.
hell
She
yeah.
can link you guys back up to be like, hey, what the? You guys did not have a real. Yeah, you guys did not have a real beef. 'Cause
I
Mama
hope
Fee's
not.
really nice.
I got no ill will. I don't want any bad blood. I don't want any bad blood in the scene. But what I've
shit.
noticed is like I'm really good at getting under motherfuckers' skin.
Yeah.
Like, and I super don't mean to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not malicious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really
Yeah.
not. I'm just
That
I'm
was just
dumb.
bad timing.
I'm super dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's like my main shit.
Yeah. That reminds me of the movies when they're like, he's right behind me, isn't he?
Yep. That's me. That's me
Yeah.
at the most awkward fucking holy shit.
It's
Dude,
super easy.
so
That
many
just-
comedians are narcissists. Like, if you reach out to them and be like, yo, I want you on my podcast, they will fucking be here.
I need to
And
start
tell them
reaching out
I
more.
brought weed and beer, and they'll be like, oh, well, fuck that guy. I'll fucking top that dude. And
Yeah.
perhaps they'll, bring a better gift.
Pause.
Yeah.
It's about time we got some radio.
Yeah, no, this is the number one podcast in the world, though. I try to.
I would say I love Flybuck.
Yeah, and
I
we're
do.
definitely trying to reach numbers wise, number one podcast in Portland. Even though we do got some competitors.
Yeah. And see what's crazy is I won't say their name, but I'll give a clue.
Yeah, okay.
D mentioned them in a previous episode.
Oh.
And this
Jamowdy,
person,
you son of
no,
a
it's
bitch.
not Jamowdy. It's not Mowdy. It's not Mowdy. I'll tell you that right now. It's not Mowdy.
All right.
But no. Them as a person, I think they're very kind. Got a real good heart.
Yeah.
But I don't find them funny.
Yes. Boom.
What?
Bam,
No?
bam, bam, bam.
No?
This was listed as one of the most unfunniest comedians in Portland.
Why are you guessing him immediately?
Because he's not funny and he's really nice. Because I always wanted to make sure on this podcast we differentiated from someone being a great person and then being just good at comedy. Because it's like a sport and a muscle. You have to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are just genetically gifted. And some people got just a natural talent for it. And some people got to work their ass off. Okay. Well, I think that's my questions. Thank you, Brandon Wayne Little, for coming
Thank you,
on
sincere.
to the Flybuck Podcast. This has been longer. Whoa, shit, 2:48. 248 minutes.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
crazy.
Yeah, I gotta.
All right,
I gotta
this
bounce.
has been one of my most interesting episodes, and I appreciate you coming through.
I've had a lot of fun. You're a
Yeah,
great conversationalist, my man.
That's great. And thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.